Driving with Julian.
You say you wanna take your mind out of your heart, right? Do you love? Do you really wanna love me? You say you have to take your heart out to put your mind right.
First generation American then. It's pretty cool.
I think personally that it offers a maybe different perspective on things, because I've also, like, throughout my life, I've been surrounded by a multitude of different sorts of flavors of people.
Strawberry, vanilla, mocha.
All of them. Anyone.
Hershey's chocolate.
Anyone you can name, I've
sorry.
been there.
Anyways, go ahead.
It's interesting because I don't think that people would look at me and think that I would produce the type of music that I do.
Right.
Does that make sense? I feel like when people look at me, they think, oh, jazz, R&B, that's definitely her. But, like, my first album was like was just like so like folky and like choral almost. So I've had a lot of different musical influences, and it's just I feel like people would find it odd the type of music that I've chose to resonate with. That's just what I do. That's just how it is.
I guess being biracially Afro-European American, I guess now, right? Or Afro-European and not necessarily Black American in the same respect that I am.
Right.
One, do you feel like you connect with Black America?
Yeah. I mean, for as long as I can remember, I've been considered part of Black America.
Right.
You know, I mean, you don't go into school and people are like, what race are you? Where are your parents from? You're just automatically Black.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like, I don't really know like how to be classified, because while I completely identify with the African American experience, I don't come from, I wasn't a product of an African Americans.
It's becoming more and more evident that social change has not happened the way that
It's been thought out to be, yeah.
right. It's built within thousands of years of ideals that weren't challenged.
It's just become so obvious that, like, America was made for the white, rich people. And so, I mean, and I didn't grow up thinking that.
Right.
Which is the problem, which is the number one problem. I only really got into all this stuff when my first year of college. That is frightening. You know what I mean? And it only became apparent to me that, you know, I mean, this country was not built to cater towards minorities,
right.
to cater towards people. So many other people were, like, prosecuted and oppressed in this country, and we're only one of them. When you talk about, like, civil rights, it becomes so black and white, to where you only think about black and white, but it's so much more than that. There are so many other people involved.
Not only black and white in the literal sense, but the argument, like, black or white, yes or no, hot and cold. Katy Perry.
Yes and no. In and out.
I don't think that was the
Up and down.
You know, I mean, even you know, when we're talking about things like privilege, well, hey, since I just said that, privilege. I have people who don't think it exists, and even in their arguments, like one person was like, "Oh, hey, Julian, you're doing pretty well off for yourself," you know? Like,
yeah.
Like, yeah.
What does that mean?
I mean, dude, it's not a personal problem.
Right. I think it has to do with how I was conditioned, which I think it just takes a big toll on how I feel now. Like, as I said, like, I only started focusing on these things freshman year of college, so I'm fairly new at like taking race into consideration and, like, noting that, oh, I am different because of the color of my skin. It's not my fault. I was just raised in a country that had a problem before I was born. You know what I mean? But the problem is that when you're little, you're taught to think in terms of not difference. You're taught to think you're the exact same as that, you know, white boy over there, or that white girl, or difference when clearly there is a difference, and they feel it. You feel it even when you're a child. You know you're different. We should be able to just say, yes, I am different from you, but we can use that as a springboard for like more creativity and like, you know, positivity instead of seeing race in such a negative thing. And
exactly. Well, I mean, we have a lot of white friends.
we do. That's all the friends I have, really, except for Gabe, maybe, and you. But I mean, it's just.
Oh, sorry. They're...
And in here. I mean, in Las Cruces, I don't have a lot of black friends, and I've never been raised with a lot of black friends.
That's because we're in New Mexico.
Ayo.
God. Ah, where are we?
I don't know, man. I mean, that's a completely different topic. Like, we should start a different series
Exactly.
on, you know what I mean? But
Being black in New Mexico.
I mean, I think it should be more talked about.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, by not talking about it, you are,
Just trying
you know,
to, yeah.
you're disrespecting
It's
my
kind
own
of
experience.
ignorant. It's kind of ignorant.
Well, Tawanda.
Julian, we seem to be at the end of our road.
Indeed. Thank you so much for such a wonderful, wonderful experience.
You're very welcome.
And
Thank you for
I'll
having
catch you on the flip side.
Sounds good.
Indeed.
All right.
See ya.
Driving with Julian.